It sounds like if I was that 30% guy, I could have got a pretty big chunk of the Boston Celtics, John. That's all I can tell you.
You could have bought half.
Who knew that they were we'd see the kind of numbers that we're seeing in baseball? We know what we see in football, but this is extraordinary, John. The Chisholm Group comes out there, and it's a $6.1 billion deal. And it was a unanimous thing from the NBA. The sale is clean. It's great. This is coming from a guy who's a private equity guy, which I think you're going to see more and more of that, John, involved in some of these pro sports. We've also heard something about this at the college level as well, right? So there's a lot of reasons to be on the lookout for what these PE firms are doing. The largest price ever paid for an American sports team, John. Now, when I say that, people are going to go, wait a minute. Now the Cowboys are worth like 10. Now somebody yesterday, I think, said 12 billion, John. So let's say they are. Well, we know where he bought it. He ain't selling it. And I don't know when the time will come, but he paid what he paid. Now, if he were to sell it, we all have a pretty good idea that it's going to go somewhere close to what this valuation is based upon what we're seeing happening here. But the Boston Celtics, John, that's a pretty amazing number, which also follows up from what happened with the Lakers and Jeannie Buss and everything going on there with the Phoenix Suns and all the different dollar amounts that keep on going. I mean, I think the highest price for an NBA team was $4.8 billion when that happened with the Phoenix Suns. This absolutely eclipses that at $6.1 billion. But the Lakers, at least on paper, John, are worth essentially $10 billion. And that's all having to do with how much does she really give, in this transaction, which isn't very clear with this guy, Walter, who is also the owner of the Dodgers. I think this guy's got a little too much money, John, because if you can hit the Dodgers and you can get the Lakers, I think you're probably pretty gifted, but daggone it, you're taking over.
Well, and I remember, Pete, in 2014 when Ballmer bought the Clippers for the then ludicrous price. Ludicrous, because it was. Yep. Nobody had ever paid this. He said, I'll pay $2 billion.
Yeah.
Well, looks like he stole it. I mean, I'm not saying they're in the Lakers category of 10 bill or the 6.1 bill that you just cited for the Celtics, but man, there are some serious bucks seriously higher than that $2 billion high watermark 11 years ago, Pete.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty amazing thing. That's why people love buying these sports teams. And there's a lot of private equity that's going to get involved in all of these professional sports. Mm-hmm. Anybody that's got a good TV contract, Pete, and these guys have a great TV contract, you always hit on that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Overpriced, but nonetheless, it's unbelievable for those owners. They got to love that. All right, John. Who are the two teams this year in the NFL that can turn it around from last year where they went nowhere or they were really pretty awful? I'm speaking in my side of it. I'm going to say this. For the NFC, I'm going to go with the 49ers. And here's why. The 49ers didn't even make the playoffs last year. Why is that? They had injuries everywhere. McCaffrey looks like he's pretty damn good shape. The guy always looks like he's in good shape because he is, but he looks like he's recovering. He looks pretty good. I think the rest of those players, he had so many guys that were on the IR, John, by the time they got literally like halfway through the season that, Purdy's back there running around for his life. And Purdy was pretty damn good. And they rewarded Purdy with that big contract at the end of the season as well for all the right reasons. He just didn't have enough help around him. He had none of his receivers left and right were gone. Running back is gone. Left tackle is gone. Other guys on defense are gone. Tight end gets banged up once in a while as well. But I think the 49ers are going to be one of these teams that if people started sleeping on them or forgot about who the 49ers are, as long as they can stay healthy, John, I think that's an NFC team that easily could be in the Super Bowl even, potentially. And I know that, don't get me wrong. I know Philadelphia's out there. I know Washington's out there. I brought up Tampa the other day, but this is a team that I think could really make a big turn. So why don't we stick with NFC? Who do you think is sort of one of those teams? It could be the 49ers, but who do you think it is?
Yeah, I would say you're probably on the right track with the 49ers, Pete. But when you shot this to me about, who was more or less one of the worst that could go to the first, One that kind of stood out to me, Pete, was Jacksonville.
Ah.
And I know you can't hardly talk about it because, you're good friends with the owner. And even though he didn't have us on his boat down at the Super Bowl, which I'm still a little pissed at.
Sean.
They were 3-11 last year into the finals, which they finished 4-13, I guess, or something
Ouch.
like that.
Yeah.
I think they got a shot because of Trevor Lawrence, who I think is a really good quarterback. I think defensively they got better, and they're in a weak AFC South.
Mhm.
So I'm going to say, Pete, that they have a real shot. I've seen them look really good. I've also, of course, with a 4-13 record, you might imagine, we've all seen them look pretty bad. But I think they might be ready, Pete. So I'll say Jacksonville Jaguars is my team to watch.
Well, I'll tell Shad he'll like hearing that. You think he's made the turn, and they got the new coach and everything from Tampa and all that, so that's all good. I'll throw one other one just as a potential interesting one too. How about the New England Patriots? The New England Patriots, John, are loaded with draft picks. They went out into the I was about to say the portal, free agency. They went out there. They've done that. They've done a lot of things. Obviously, they changed the head coach as well. Vrabel is now the head coach. I think that's a great fit, I think, for him to be back home essentially and doing his thing there. And they've got Drake May at quarterback, who threw too many interceptions last year. He did. There's no doubt about it. These young guys are going to do stuff like that. But I think he's got enough, and as long as he's got more protection, he's got better receivers to throw to, a nice running game, and all the rest of it, John. They were 4-13 last year. I don't think these guys are going to the Super Bowl, nor do I think they're going to beat Baltimore or somebody else if they were get to the playoffs. But this is a team that I think could maybe at least double what they won last year. So I could say these guys potentially, they could win 8 games. And I like what we've seen. They're practicing right over here. They were yesterday, and they are again today, John. And I'll tell you what, they have so many pieces to the puzzle that I think they've put together. Now they've just got to make sure they can play together as a team. And I think Vrabel is the right guy, right coach to be able to put these guys together. So I like their chances to – do they get to the playoffs? Maybe. But if they can double it this year and get 8 wins, I think that's pretty damn good. And I think the ownership would probably be pretty damn happy.
Well, I'll be pretty damn happy, Pete, being with my friend Charles Payne at 2:45 this afternoon, because I'll get to give him some of our insights into some of the stocks, maybe some of them that we covered here on the show. Yeah. It's always up to Charles what we're going to cover, but he's also got, as I said, a panel with me and Susan Downey, and I guess we're going to, 3 of us, go back and forth with a number of topics. So he says, that'll be fun, John. And I said, okay. You're the man.
It's entertainment, man. Even financial television can have entertainment. Why not? What the hell?
Gotta do it. Well, as you know, we don't do the Rebel's Edge on Fridays, folks, unless we have a special. Yeah. So we will be back on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You can see Pete and I tomorrow morning as Pete's doing his walk in the morning, and I'll do my 60-second. But no Rebel's Edge tomorrow. Not until Monday at 1 p.m.